Augusta University finished the regular season second in the Peach Belt Conference. And like last year, they begin March with a desire to win 9 games in a row. And if they do that, they'll cut down the nets and reign supreme as national champions. The run for the Roses starts right now inside the Christenberry Fieldhouse on the campus of University of Augusta. Augusta University, the Jaguars playing host to a familiar foe in Georgia College. Welcome in, as this is an exclusive broadcast powered by AUG B-Ball on SUV TV alongside Chad Cook. I'm the Mac Daddy, Charles McNeil. Chad, man, we saw this team just 4 days ago, and what a great game it was, an overtime contest, and we were narrowly able to come away with the victory.
It's been described several times, even by Coach Dimitris, as a game that Augusta maybe didn't deserve to win, but they found a way anyway. Great game by Georgia College, great comeback by Augusta. Round 3 tonight, these teams split in the regular season. We'll decide who the champion of this matchup is, but more importantly, who advances to the weekend semifinal round out of these two teams tonight.
Yeah, we both got a chance to watch the game in Milledgeville, another tight contest. What is it about the contrasting styles of these teams that makes this one an interesting one?
Well, Georgia College, even though they have an even 500 record in conference play, they've shown the ability to beat every single team in the conference. They won at Pembroke, the number 1 team. They split with Augusta, almost swept Augusta, and they split with the number 3 team, Lander. And the thing that they do that nobody else does in this conference is they have the ability to really slow things down. Jordan Thomas and Wesley Simpson can get buckets, and the team is nicely situated around those two options. And when they get a lead, they can nurse a lead better than anybody.
Dimitris in his 16th season sent us his keys to victory.
Yes, the first one, defend the three-point line. We saw the importance of that in the first half on Saturday. Georgia College jumped out to a 43-29 lead. They have shooters all around the arc to go along with Jordan Thomas and Wesley Simpson when it comes to Cave, Parks, Brandon Thomas, Richard Crawford, Christian Kahneman. Unlimited amount of standstill three-point shooters, and they know how to get them the ball. Get the ball in, the second key, get the ball inside early and get to the free throw line. Augusta has a marked advantage on the inside with its 2 post players, Rafael Montero and Tyshawn Crawford. If they can take advantage of that early, they can get a lead instead of playing from behind and stay out of foul trouble. Augusta took an early lead Saturday, but when Tyshawn Crawford, Darren Lucas White, and Troy Cracknell got into foul trouble, Georgia College took advantage and got a big lead. Augusta will need to stay out of that trap here tonight.
Well, you look at the records, Chad already alluded to it. Georgia College, nothing to write home about with a 13-15 record. They are 6-10 on the road and 10-10 in conference play throughout the regular season. Augusta coming in with an outstanding 21-7 mark, 16-4 in the conference during the regular season, and a team that is 12-2 protecting this house as they hope to do so right here this evening. Coming up next, it is the quarterfinals of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament on the men's side, and it's up next right here on SUV TV.
You are anything but ordinary. You have your own path and your own potential to realize. At Augusta University, the advantages created by our diversity in thought, culture, and collaboration give you and us infinite opportunity. Together, we're changing our community, our campus, and our world. We are boundless. We are Augusta University.
Back inside the Christenberry Fieldhouse, just moments before the tip-off of this one. Charles McNeil, Chad Cook, side by side. for our final broadcast of the 2020 season, and it's been a pleasure to be alongside you, Chad, for these ride. And you know, more importantly, just being able to watch this Jaguar team perform at a high level as they continue to get better game in and game out.
Well, you're making me sad talking about the last time we're going to do this because I've enjoyed it immensely. But to your point about watching this team progress, one thing about a Dick Mitras coached Augusta Jaguar team, they're going to improve as the season goes. Lots of teams tend to either stagnate, even fall apart. This team gets better and better as it goes. We've seen it the past 2 seasons. Before ending with a loss, they won 15 games in a row last year. Right now they're in the midst of a 10-game winning streak. They get better as they play together. Individuals like Tyshawn Crawford are examples of that, but the team as well, and it's a hallmark of Dick Mitras' teams.
The Augusta Jaguars averaging 82 points a game, their opponents scoring 74. On the other side, Georgia College averaging 79 points while yielding 80 to their opponents. Well, Chad, it's that time, the final installment of Chad's Cooker for 2020. Who's in your cooker tonight? Well,
I'm going to go out on a limb a little bit today. Usually it's a choice between Miguel Arnold and Troy Cracknell, but I'm going with the point guard, Tyree Myers, today. I said it repeatedly Saturday. He has ice water in his veins. He plays his best basketball when it matters most. I think he's going to get this Augusta University team started on the right foot with some key shots here tonight. That's Tyree Myers.
We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Rafael Montero in the pregame. He went over 1,000 points in his career, and what a great celebration they had for him afterwards.
That was a blast. 25 points and 10 rebounds after 27 and 12 in the prior game, and those 2 games put together earned him Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week honors. There's no better person. Coach Dick Mitras said that he will be a reference point for Augusta Jaguars for years to come when it comes to how he approaches his basketball game, his academic life, and just general character. Can't say enough about the man who's about to play his last game here at Christenberry.
And he gets much respect from his teammates as well. We'll talk about that as we go along. As the tip is up and controlled, as it has been all season long, by Tyshawn Crawford. Very few opponents even go up and jump against the 7-footer. So the 5 on the floor, Tyree Myers, the point guard, Miguel Arnold, Rafael Montero, Troy Cracknell, and the aforementioned Tyshawn Crawford. They work the post play down to Tyshawn. 2 dribbles and a turn. The jump hook is up, and it is good. 2-0 Augusta as they score just 27 seconds into this one.
Excellent patience by Crawford on that one. Shows us how far he's come. Nice little touch shot over the right shoulder.
Crawford averaging 15 points and 10 rebounds a game. 1.5 blocks. As that's the man we got to keep an eye out on. Jordan Thomas. He's followed up inside.
That's a new wrinkle. Augusta starting in a zone. What's also new is forcing a missed shot on a three-pointer and Tyshawn Crawford and company not coming away with the rebound.
Turn and face, not able to knock it down, and here comes Wesley Simpson in the front court. Richard Crawford getting the start. Crawford, an outstanding scorer out of Greenbrier, freshman. On the wing, there's a 3 attempt, no good. That shot up by Justin Cave. And there goes Myers. Cracknell on the dribble drive to the well, gives it off to the big guy, and he knows what to do with it.
Chris Parks stepped in to take that charge. I'm not sure if he was in the circle or not. Augusta got a break for Troy Cracknell not incurring a charge on that play, but to your point, Tyshawn Crawford sure knew what to do with it when he caught it.
Nice turn and face by Chris Parks.
So Augusta starting in that zone, gets a couple threes to miss, but then Parks is able to score twice in close.
The Augusta women are also in action. They're playing up in Dahlonega in the quarterfinals of the women's bracket. And at halftime, the score is 50-24 in favor of the Lady Nighthawks. Keep you abreast of that one as we go along. You would think that maybe we turned the ball over a bunch, but it was actually a 9-8 the margin in turnovers.
Yeah, North Georgia's the kind of team that can get away from you in a hurry if they're playing well. It sounds like they're playing well.
We've got some debris on the floor over by us, but the officials can't see it. Hopefully that won't be an issue.
Now to the dead ball, Augusta goes man-to-man.
Turn and face by Cave. And there's a steal. Myers, hit-ahead pass to Raphael. His first post touch. He goes with the right hand on the left side. Score it with some emotion.
So Augusta's gotten every look in close. That's where they have their advantage. You see Rafael Montero against the smaller Wesley Simpson. Puts him in the hole, gets the and one. Now we'll notice on the other end of Augusta, I expect them to get in some full court pressure if Rafael makes this shot. And when they drop back, if they drop back into a man-to-man, we'll see if they do here. We'll see Rafael Montero guarding Wesley Simpson. It's a switch that Coach Dimitris is going with. We saw Simpson post smaller guards up on Saturday, so that's a switch to try to neutralize that here today.
Nice backdoor move by Justin Cave for a field goal. So we're deadlocked at 6, nearly 4 minutes in. Cracknell into the post. Tyshawn takes the bump. Shot attempt too strong. He'll have to hustle back. On the wing, it's Cave. And Parks underneath couldn't see him, so Crawford will reset the offense. Mark Gaines, the head coach, barking out the call. And now it's Thomas to the well. Off glass, no good.
Incredible defense there by Troy Cracknell. He's really come along on that end of the court. He did a great job on Jordan Thomas there.
Nice right-handed move by Crawford.
Big man using his weak hand, showing good patience, good footwork. Augusta's got all of its points out of low post touches so far.
And that last opportunity, Parks flying, leaned back, tried to get a block on it. No chance as Jordan Thomas is on the board. There's Thomas with a steal. And he goes in with the left hand. So a guy who can score in bunches, Thomas, leading scorer, averaging 19 points a game. Also leads the team in steals with 42 before that one. Now Montero to the rack, out to Cracknell, top of the circle. Miguel, down low to Raphael. Spin and face, you know that's going home.
Raphael's got a real advantage in the low post, so does Tyshawn Crawford.
Thomas on the right wing. Crawford for an open look. Short of the mark, rebounded by Raphael. Now Tyree.
That last missed three by Georgia College was an excellent defensive rotation by Tyshawn Crawford and by the entire defense of Augusta.
We got a TV timeout. It comes at the 14:02 mark. This one deadlocked at 10 apiece. What did you like and what do you think we need to work on?
Well, I love the fact that Augusta got the ball into the low post repeatedly. That can only bode well for Augusta's fortunes here tonight. Georgia College has been able to stay with Augusta so far, but you know, if they continue to get looks like this, I just don't see Augusta being able to stay with I just don't see Georgia College being able to stay with Augusta for the long term.
Let's look at one play by Georgia College. I know they've had some successes as well.
twice Chris Parks scored right around the basket, this time over the big man, Tyshawn Crawford. That's the kind of shot that I wouldn't expect to continue to go in throughout 40 minutes. It's a nice play, no doubt about it, but it's also a very tough play.
The post players for Augusta getting the scoring started. Tyshawn Crawford with 6, Rafael Montero with 4, and on the other side it is Chris Parks, their big guy, with 4, Jordan Thomas with 4, and Justin Cave with 2 points for the 10 each. We're deadlocked.
Now, the one thing about Augusta pounding the ball into the post repeatedly, they're going to need their guards to be in rhythm as well. So look for Troy Cracknell, and when he comes back in, Miguel Arnold, and also Tyree Myers to get going offensively with some looks as well.
Darren Lucas White, and then a breakaway. After Lucas White missed the 3 ball, is Sloan running the floor as he did just a few afternoons ago. Gets down and gets his first bucket off the bench. Robert Barloon kicks it out to Montero. It's a 50% three-point shooter, misfired there. Cave to Simpson.
We'll see if Georgia College isolates here. I thought they were going to isolate Simpson versus Montero, but they'll go with the screen and roll instead.
Brandon Thomas. Jordan Thomas, and there's a steal. Darren Lucas White on the floor with a steal. That gets the crowd excited. Now Cracknell to Raphael. Cross court. Tyree. Barloon in the post. Now Darren. Gonna leave him open. Raphael gets double teamed. No problem.
You know, he's getting hit on those shots too. The last 2 times he's leaned in with that left shoulder and drawn contact, made them both, didn't get the call either time. He's having his way in the low post.
So Crawford and Montero combining for all 12 of Augusta's points, each with 6. 4 players scored thus far for the Bobcats. There's a step back 3. And Cracknell, who's been in foul difficulty throughout the season, finds himself the first foul there.
We saw this all day Saturday, that screen and roll with Jordan Thomas being involved. Cracknell's done a good job on him so far. It looked like he contested that one nicely as well, but he got picked up for the foul.
Thomas, an 82% free throw shooter, knocks down the first.
I talked about this Saturday where the first time Augusta played Georgia College and Georgia College was able to beat them in Milledgeville, Dick Metris described a strategy on defense employed by the Bobcats where they deny the perimeter players all around the three-point line. And that way, you know, the guys aren't able to get open shots. You don't help off of them, and the guards aren't able to get in any kind of rhythm. I think I said Saturday that the guards combined for 8 points that game. And that leaves one-on-one in the post, and that's probably why we see Rafael Montero and Tyshawn Crawford having their way. But Augusta still needs contributions from other players, so we'll see if they're able to work that balance here today.
Deflection on the pass as Richard Crawford got in the passing lane. Jordan Thomas now has it. In our game on Saturday, he held the ball for significant periods of time in that end of regulation. Unable to capitalize there. Back the other way, there's a bump. And Tyree Myers will head to the line to shoot 2, I do believe.
Yeah, I like Tyree being aggressive there. On the play before that, he was trying to throw it into the post, and Richard Crawford was playing way off of him. That's why he was able to get that steal. There, Crawford's playing off of him again. Tyree can either choose to shoot it from deep or attack. He chose to attack there and gets himself to the foul line.
Got our second timeout on the floor. Comes at 11:34 mark, and Dip Metris with his brain trust, O'Neal Armstrong alongside. discussing things with their talented team. And I mean, I talked about it in the Open, the possibility of 9 victories gets you a national championship, but first it comes with the Peach Belt Conference Tournament Championship, which we won last year.
Yeah, Peach Belt Conference Tournament Championship is a big deal. National championship, boy, that would be nice. But, putting up a banner here, being the best of the 12 teams in this highly competitive conference is something to shoot for, to say the least, especially doing it 2 years in a row, which is what they would do if they won it this year. So, and it's also so difficult. If we're able to get past Georgia College tomorrow, the teams that we'll have to play Saturday and Sunday are, quite frankly, even better and just as good as us. So a 3-game winning streak through this tournament is basically a successful season in itself.
So Myers on the line. And he drops home the first. Fantastic season for Tyree Myers, averaging 8.7 points a game, shooting 79% from the line, grabbing 4 assists, or dishing out 4 assists and grabbing 3 rebounds on the season as he buries a pair here. And he'll get a break as Miguel Arnold returns to action. So with those 2 made free throws, Chad, we've got somebody not named Crawford or Montero on the board for the Jaguars.
Yeah, and with Miguel Arnold just now checking back in, I looked for him to get involved. Didn't get a field goal opportunity in his first stint.
Here's a pull-up 3, Justin Cave. So Cave with 5. The young man who averages 10 points a game. Shoots 40% from long range in conference play. Lucas White with his second attempt from long distance and didn't run down his rebound in the corner. You might want to mention that Darren Lucas White is coming off of an injury that was aggravated in our last meeting against Georgia College.
Yeah, Darren's nursing a little bit of a sore ankle. Right now, Georgia College is playing off of Darren. We've seen that from teams lately. He's a capable shooter, but he's much more comfortable driving to the basket. And when guys play as far off of you as they are playing Darren, it can start to work on your mind a little bit. He hesitated on that last shot, didn't shoot it, and then decided to shoot it.
Shooting 42% from the field all season and 38% in conference play. The Bobcats now with their largest lead is 5, 19-14. Montero to Cracknell. Troy looking for somebody. There he is. The big fella in deep and a push.
So now with Tyree Myers checking in, Georgia College won't have a player to play off of. That should improve the spacing a little bit.
Christian Coleman picking up the foul. So the inbounds goes up top to Myers. Miguel down low, and it's Raphael. He misses the bunny. Simpson, to Cave, to Thomas. Cross-court pass. And a knockdown 3. That's Brandon Thomas, his first field goal.
Augusta flirting with trouble here. You don't want to fall behind this Georgia College team with the way they slow things down and really make the game a disjointed affair. You don't want to fall behind these Bobcats.
Montero.
Active hands from Georgia College. You saw Jordan Thomas get a steal on a layup earlier.
Now Miguel. Here's Tyree pulling up, knocking it down. Tyree Myers' first field goal.
Tyree Myers, the only player outside of the two big men, Montero and Crawford, to score.
Shoots 47% from the field for your point guard. Augusta with a chance to cut into this two-possession lead. And it's Myers undercut as he drove the lane.
Tyree has such a great knack for knowing when the team needs him to put points on the board. We've had, I don't think, a shot yet from Troy Cracknell or Miguel Arnold, the two most potent perimeter threats for Augusta, so Tyree's starting to go to work. I'll start to pay more attention to Arnold and Cracknell, number 5 and number 21 for Augusta, see if they're denied all over the court, basically face guarded. That's what Dip Mitras described to me about what Georgia College did to Augusta in their first meeting, in which Georgia College won. Cracknell's going to the bench, so we'll see maybe Darren Lucas White being played off of, being given a lot of space, and then probably Miguel Arnold being denied the ball.
Pair of free throws for Myers. Gives him 6 now as he joins the club. All 3 players that have scored have each scored 6. So the 18 on the board for the Jaguars. They trail by 4 and a long 3. Knocked down by Brandon Thomas. His second made 3 of the ball game. Extends the lead to 7.
Brandon Thomas was a 3-point marksman Saturday as well. Has been all season for Georgia College.
Shooting 37.8% from distance in conference play. That was his 30. He's got 2 now, 36th make of the year. 92 attempts.
Watch number 10, who we're talking about, Brandon Thomas, playing way off of Darren Lucas White, number 11 for Augusta. You'll see it here. Darren's in the right corner.
Hold right there. Stopping play, Justin Cave, the culprit. That's the 17th foul against the Bobcats. Only 2 for the Jaguars. That shooting situation, 1-1 for Augusta. Send Miguel Arnold to the line.
The second key to the game for Coach Dip Mitras today was to get the ball inside and get Georgia College in foul trouble. With 7 fouls on the Bobcats with almost 9 minutes remaining in this first half. That part of the game plan has worked.
And there's a shocker. An 88% free throw shooter misses the front end.
Yeah, and that was Miguel's first attempt at a shot all day.
There's another deep 3. Rebounded by Montero, looking for help, and there's Myers. Got Lucas White on his right, gets the high ball screen, and comes up top to Montero. Front iron, no good. That goes into the corner, and pulled out of there by Thomas. Nice look down low. Sloan lost control to the floor. Miguel goes, ball thrown off his stomach, and we get it into the front court. 4-on-3. Now 4-on-4, and they'll slow things up. Lucas White to the well, puts it up, short. Tyshawn having a conversation now with Jordan Thomas. Things got a little chippy on Saturday, and it seems like the conversation's continuing here 4 days later.
Augusta obviously wanted a foul there. There was no travel on that play. So I think, am I right, they called travel on that play, right? Yeah, that was a tough one for Augusta. Tyshawn did not move that pivot foot. Earlier in the season, we saw that quite a bit where he would try to gather himself and he would move his pivot foot. That was not an example of that. We haven't seen that call on him in quite some time, and I think that was a missed call there.
We have the under 8 timeout. The with Augusta trailing by 7. The first round of the Peach Belt Conference tournament. This is the quarterfinal round. And explain to fans who are just tuning in, maybe following the Jaguars for the first season, what happens next? Where will we go next if we are able to pull off a victory?
Well, the winner of this game is headed towards Lander University, where the highest women's seed resides. Lander, the #1 seed, as long as they win tonight, they will host. Lander will host the men's and women's semifinal games, 4 games Saturday and 2 championship games Sunday. So the winner of this game will head there to play the winner of Lander versus Flagler in the 3-6 game at Lander here tonight.
Darren Lucas White checking out. Troy Cracknell back in the lineup for the Jaguars, who trail by 7 for Bobcat basketball. Thomas. Ball partially deflected, but followed up inside by Parks. That's his 3rd field goal. He's got 6. Jordan Thomas with 6. Brandon Thomas with 6. 5 for Justin Cave. 2 in the game for Wesley Simpson and 2 for Austin Sloan. Montero. Now they get it down low to Crawford. Jump hook from close range.
Pretty jump hook by the 7-footer. You know, Augusta's not playing poorly defensively. Georgia College has been able to make shots. But you see by the 3 fouls, only 3 fouls incurred by Augusta, they're not getting him put into bad situations, except for their actually point-blank shot that Thomas is unable to finish.
In the women's quarterfinal up in Dahlonega, the Jaguars of Millette Green trailing North Georgia 75-43 with 4 minutes left to play.
You know, Troy Cracknell didn't look good on that shot, didn't look balanced, and it hit the backboard before it hit the rim. So Cracknell and Arnold really struggling so far. You see Cave face guarding Arnold in the right corner there. Those guys are given nothing here against Georgia College.
Pull-up jump shot by the big fella, and he knocks it down. Chris Parks, his 4th field goal.
Parks has been making incredibly difficult shots. This is so reminiscent of Saturday's ball game.
Miguel steps into one and works glass.
So guy overplays you, you beat him to the basket, sometimes with a backdoor cut there. The defender cheated the passing lane, and Miguel Arnold was able to drive past him, pull up, and make the jumper. Let's see if that gets him going a little bit.
Yeah, ironically, he just shoots 40% from the field, Miguel does. 39% from three-point land. Montero to Arnold. Down low to Crawford. Pumps. And he goes up, and there's a whistle and a foul.
So that time we're going to see again, Tyshawn doesn't shuffle his feet, and they don't call a travel like they did last time. He keeps that left foot still, even after it's being stepped on repeatedly.
Crawford at the line, and he misses the first. First time at the line for Tyshawn. In conference play, shooting just under 51%. I noticed he made a slight adjustment in this one that he didn't have on Saturday. He was maybe a half a step behind where he is right now off the line. And he was long on a pair. Wasn't using the line as a point of emphasis for him, just stepping in kind of midway between the line and the back line to shoot it. So a 7-point game. The Bobcats with the lead.
Georgia College is really going at Tyshawn Crawford with Chris Parks, number 0.
That's a block shot, but a whistle is called against Troy Cracknell, and that'll be number 2.
That's the second time Cracknell's called for this play. Let's see if he gets any contact. Yeah, it looked good to me. It looked like ball and maybe a little bit of hand. You know the old saying, hand is part of the ball. So Troy Cracknell and Darren Lucas White, the 2 best perimeter defenders for Augusta, each have 2 fouls. Lucas White will check back in for Troy.
Eight points now for Jordan Thomas. 9-point lead. He's the largest for Georgia College. Mid-range jump shot, strong by Lucas White. There's Miguel, taking it himself, but he misses it short. Now Tyshawn gets it blocked from behind into the front court. Cross-court pass deflected. Wesley Simpson kicks it out. Coleman, another 3-ball.
This game looks exactly like Saturday's game, almost to the number. Augusta went into the half with a 13-point deficit. Now with 4 minutes remaining, Augusta trails by 12. 3-pointers raining left and right. Everybody on Georgia College's team can make a shot from the perimeter. You see the center Parks there. Kahneman a second ago. Sloan made 2 threes Saturday, so all the front line players are threats from behind the line. It's the kind of setup that is tailor-made to neutralize somebody like Tyshawn Crawford, the big 7-footer for Augusta. He has trouble chasing those guys around the perimeter and keeping them from making long-distance shots. Now what we saw Saturday was a red-hot first half from Georgia College and then an ice-cold second half where Georgia College shot 30% from the field, 16% from the three-point line. So it's hard to make these shots for 40 minutes, but it's also hard to make up a big deficit against a team that plays such a controlled game like Georgia College does.
Kahneman knocking down that 3. He shoots 35% on the season. Played in and started in 7 of their ball games this year.
You know, Kahneman wasn't here Saturday. He and Wesley Simpson got in a scary car accident last week, and Kahneman wasn't able to get back in action in time for Saturday's game.
There's a nice move by Lucas White. Averaging 7 points a game. He's on the board. Missing a couple of perimeter jump shots. His family was in town over the weekend. There's Kahneman again. Montero. They got away with one. There's a reset. 13-point deficit. Under 3 minutes left. Wide open underneath. Lucas White again.
So Lucas White has stopped settling for jumpers, and he's attacking against this sloughed-off defense against him. Scored on 2 straight possessions. Augusta will need a stop.
There's a defensive stand by the Jaguars.
We've seen this all season long from Rafael Montero, making big plays on both ends. Gets to the spot, draws the charge. Guys like Kahneman, everybody but Jordan Thomas and Wesley Simpson for this Georgia College team. If you can take away the catch and shoot three, you can do a good job stopping them. Montero did that there.
Miguel. 11-footer is knocked down for Miguel Arnold. His second field goal. He's got 4. Lucas White with 4. 6 in the game for Tyree Myers, 8 for Tyshawn Crawford, 6 for Rafael Montero. Inside of 2 minutes left.
And this is the action we saw repeatedly throughout the second half from Georgia College. Jordan Thomas against the world.
Backdoor. Miguel Arnold.
Beautiful offense there. Rafael Montero takes the pass from Arnold, fakes the handoff, and then hits him on the back door. Classic basketball from the Jaguars.
And this is shades of Saturday. With Jordan Thomas putting on a dribbling exhibition. He loses his man. Gets a wide open look but can't knock it down. And in the corner, Tyree Myers runs it down. Myers, penetration. Montero behind the back to the well. Shot off the glass. Tyshawn has it. Crawford off glass and scores.
Lots of life from Augusta. This crowd is standing and showing its approval for these Jaguars. You see the emotion from Tyshawn Crawford. You know, if anybody was tempted to think that Augusta falling behind double digits here again was a result of them not being ready to play, I don't think that's it at all. I think these guys are ready to play. I just think Georgia College came out making a lot of tough shots, and the way they play can really pile up on you in a hurry, but Augusta has shown the ability to withstand those surges twice now in the past 5 days. See if they can keep up the momentum with 37 seconds left here in the first half. Augusta going back against Crawford.
Parks with a 3-ball.
So that's just basic isolation. Parks against Crawford.
It's a quick shot as well. Thought they might have gone even quicker for a 2-for-1, but not the case. Now Augusta will have an opportunity to take the final shot.
We're going to see Montero here, if I'm not mistaken.
Not available, so they'll go to Miguel with the pull-up from deep. Front iron, there's your guy inside. And the Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week will go to the line with 1.1 seconds remaining.
Well, when I talk to Coach Demetris at halftime, I'll have to ask him how good it must feel to, after going down double digits, to make a big run like this before halftime. Instead of going in there and wondering how you can put the pieces together, to get some momentum before the second half starts has to make a world of difference.
Montero, front iron, no good. First time at the line for the Outstanding player for Augusta, Player of the Year candidate, Rafael Montero. Shooting in the upper 80 percentile, has fallen down into the 70s now, shooting 79% on the season, 77% in league play. As that desperation heave nearly found a home, but we've wrapped up the first half of play for the Christenberry Fieldhouse, and your score, the Bobcats 37, Augusta 33. This is the quarterfinals of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. As part of the halftime activities, it should be a lot of fun as the championship cheerleaders from Augusta University will show their wares for the crowd to see. We've seen some of their tumbling runs, and I think we're going to get a chance to see even more of them here during this halftime. We've got some unofficial numbers as we await the real numbers coming your way by virtue of our sports information director. And it looks like our favorite friend, Chad Cook, has a special guest. It's Coach Tip Mitras standing by.
Okay, Coach, today you've made your run before the second half begins. That has to help.
Yeah, I looked up there. I said, if we're down under 5, we're in good shape. We're at 4. So, they banged a bunch of threes in again. And a couple times it was our mistake. A couple times they just hit tough shots. We got to keep going inside with the ball. It was 7 fouls to 2. We kept going inside, then we missed some free throws. So we got to keep our game plan. We got to do a better job of guarding three-point line. And we got, they're not going to go away. That's what I told them. They beat us the first time, and they technically beat us the second time. I came out of timeout. I said, we got to let our attitudes got to change. We got to go beat them rather than let them beat themselves.
Miguel and Troy on the perimeter, they face guarding those guys, and then I see Miguel getting to the bucket a little bit.
Miguel got the rim a couple times. Troy picked up a couple fouls, so hopefully he'll play. He didn't pick up his third this time. We got Darren with 2. We just got to do better. Hoffa missed one around the basket, missed a couple free throws. We'll be okay, but we got to come out with that last 6 minutes defensive mentality in this beginning of the second half.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, back to you, Charles. Ready for a big second half.
Yes, sir, Chad. I know we will be. And looking forward to seeing exactly what the team has in store. We trail by 4, 37-33. This is the quarterfinals of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. And that was, of course, the head coach in his 16th season, Tip Mitras, who did a wonderful job with the celebration of our senior day with Rafael Montero getting the honors. And what a quick 2 years it has been for Rafael. And I know he will probably receive a couple honors this coming Friday night at the award ceremony. Annually, before the championship games on Saturday, they host a fantastic event, a banquet with student athletes from all of the schools represented, and those student athletes get a chance to have a little bit of fun with one another before getting back to the serious business of basketball on Saturday. And in those events, you'll have the all defensive players awarded, the all conference teams for both men and women, the individual awards, Player of the Year, etc., will all be exhibited, and we're heading up there. AUGB ball will be there, and we'll have a full report for Augusta and USC Aiken and let you know exactly how our area teams have progressed in this one. We have some numbers I do believe to pass along to you. These are unofficial, but your scoring leader, Tyshawn Crawford for Augusta with 10 points as he helps to lead the way. 4 points for Tyree Myers, 6 points in the game for Miguel Arnold, 4 for Darren Lucas White, and 6 points in the game for Rafael Montero. For the Bobcats, Chris Parks has 8. It is 8 points for Jordan Thomas, 2 points in the game for Wesley Simpson, 6 for Brandon Thomas, 2 in the game for Austin Sloan. Justin Cave had 5 points, and Christian Kahneman finished up with 6 points off the bench. So your halftime score, once again, Georgia College leading Augusta 37-33. We trailed by 13 at the break when we faced them on Saturday here. So a lot better situation to head into the locker room, although down 4. It is not as much of a deficit to overcome as we head into the second half. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll hear from Chad Cook and also get your official stats coming your way, and that is up next. You're watching exclusive coverage of the Jaguars in the postseason right here on SUV TV.
You are anything but ordinary. You have your own path and your own potential to realize. At Augusta University, the advantages created by our diversity in thought, culture, and collaboration give you and us infinite opportunity. Together, we're changing our community, our campus, and our world. We are boundless. We are Augusta University.
Back inside the Christenberry Fieldhouse as we prepare for the second half. I'm Mac Daddy along with Chad Cook and CC. I'll tell you what, the Augusta Jaguars are fortunate to be as close as they are without knocking down any 3 balls in the first half.
Yeah, speaking of as close as they are, 9-0 run to close the half just to get within 4. Coach Dimitris talked about Georgia College's ability to knock down those threes and how sometimes it was just tough shots being made, sometimes it was mistakes on Augusta's part on defense. I see in the second half, as we see Christian Kahneman knock one of those down, in the second half with Miguel Arnold and Troy Cracknell being denied all over the court, it disrupts our shooters' rhythm. You mentioned making no threes in the first half. If Augusta can get a little more momentum, continue this run that they're currently on, Georgia College will start to make mistakes defensively like Augusta did from time to time in the first half. And guys like Miguel Arnold, who we just saw make a shot, and Troy Cracknell will get loose for some shots, make some shots, and the Jaguars will be off to the races. That's what I expect in this second half. Continued intensity from the Jaguars, continued momentum, and then the floodgates opening with the perimeter shots from the Jaguars.
Yeah, we saw the paint points right there with the big fella inside. Augusta leading in paint points 22-12, and Georgia College leading in bench points 14-4, or a couple of the numbers that matter to you. I know another one is field goal shooting percentage. They shot 13 of 26, 50% from the field, 5 of 12, 41.7% from long range, 6 of 7 from the line, 85.7%. And Augusta on the other side, 14 of 30 shooting, that's 46.7%, 0 for 4 from three-point land, and 5 of 10 from the free throw line in that first half. Largest lead for Georgia College was 13, that at the 3:26 mark, and Augusta's lone lead came at 2-0, just 6 seconds into the ball game. Leading scorers for Augusta, Tyshawn Crawford, 5 of 8 shooting, 10 points in the first half along with 6 rebounds, headed for another double-double. Rafael Montero with 7 points and 5 boards, also has 2 assists in that first half of play. And then 6 points each for Tyree Myers and Miguel Arnold, 4 points for Darren Lucas White. For Georgia College, the Bobcats were paced by 8 points for Jordan Thomas, who also had 2 assists in the first half on 2 of 8 shooting, so a poor shooting day for him. And Chris Parks, the big fella, with 8 points, 4 of 6 shooting for him, along with 2 rebounds and an assist. So we're all set and ready to begin the second half. Brandon Thomas had 6 points, as did Christian Kahneman. And we're ready to get the second half underway with Richard Crawford back on the floor. He was the lone starter who has yet to score for the Bobcats, as Parks gets his opening shot rejected by Crawford. Tries another time and throws it, and it's deflected by Montero into the hands of Myers, who's racing. Gets to the three-point arc and then hands it off, and there's a traveling violation as Miguel couldn't slow up his steps.
Georgia College goes back to that isolation basketball with Parks against Tyshawn Crawford, and Crawford blocks his shot on the first play. So Tyshawn up to the challenge here on the first possession here in the second half.
Cracknell with the 2 fouls. He's got the difficult guarding assignment against Thomas. Now Simpson launches and drops it home. So Wesley Simpson now with 5 points.
Put Thomas and Simpson into a screen and roll. Simpson pops after setting the screen. Troy Cracknell expected him to roll, and just that little bit of time was enough for Simpson to start the half off with a 3. You ran down the shooting numbers a second ago. Georgia College on Saturday, those shooting numbers you ran down were very good from Georgia College, much like Saturday when Georgia College shot over 50% from the field and from the three-point line in the first half. But in the second half, the Bobcats shot only 30% from the field and 16% from the three-point line. So one of the big storylines here, I think, will be, can the Bobcats keep it up for a complete game?
That's their record of 13-15. Should be as fortunate. Try to win the rubber match in this series. Montero has it in a low post with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Backs him down, turns and faces. Can't drop it in, kept alive by Tyshawn. There's Montero, a hoop and some harm.
Raphael's been excellent in the post going over his left shoulder. Not as good today going over his right as he does there, but relentless in staying with it. Snatches the offensive rebound. Gets the hoop and the harm.
You've got to be pleased by Tyshawn Crawford as well. He was on the opposite side of the goal, came over to keep that one alive with his offhand.
Sure did. He's playing inspired basketball today, very intense. He'll get the chance here on the other end to stick with Parks, try to slow him down as the second half wears on.
So that was the equalizer, 3 points each out of the gate in the second half. Now it's Simpson. Make that Thomas. There's Simpson.
That time Simpson had to square up, jab step before letting go of the three instead of just in rhythm going right into it. 2 turnovers here from Augusta in the first 1 minute and 46 seconds of the second half. Not characteristic of how the Jaguars play.
And with that second turnover, they've taken over the turnover lead in the ball game. Neither team turned it over quite a bit in that first half. 4 for Georgia College, only 3 for Augusta. And there's a steal. Speaking of turnovers, Tyree Myers to the rack, takes contact. And they head into your living room.
So Georgia College staying with that strategy of attacking Tyshawn Crawford. Tyree Myers is as good as they get when it comes to cutting off dribble lanes. Coach Dimitris and the Jaguars, they call that shrinking the floor, getting into those dribble paths. And Tyree Myers is the team leader in steals, and he showed why there.
Myers a perfect 5 for 5 on the evening. He's got 7. Now make it 8.
So now with Parks out, Tyshawn Crawford's job gets a little bit different. He won't be as much in isolation, but he'll have to get to the three-point shooting ability of Austin Sloan.
That one is kicked out of bounds.
More great defense by Tyree Myers. He was playing the passing lane there, and then after almost getting the steal on the pass, he forced the turnover on the dribble drive.
Time to time talk about the success that is the Augusta Jaguars as the under 16 timeout is still 1 minute and 33 seconds away, but want to thank some of the sponsors who made this possible. Chad Cook, AUGB Ball.
Who's that guy?
With a major assist on our broadcast and all the Jaguar sponsors throughout the year. I want to thank them, and of course athletic director Clint Bryan, our interim sports information director, stepped in and done fantastic work. And, again, in my first season, you made it very easy, a transition, and that for SUV TV, I'll speak for them as well. Our director, Lisa to my right, and Marcus, our videographer, in the end zone. Just the accolades, Chad. I mean, the numbers of people who have tuned into these broadcasts continue to grow.
Yeah, we're so happy to have them. We obviously prefer everybody come to the gym here and cheer loud, but if they're not able to come to the gym, we're so happy that they tune in with us. And, it makes us, both of us, I know, feel real good.
Absolutely. There's a jump hook over the top, followed up by Montero on the opposite side.
Wesley Simpson wants to know where the over-the-back call is. He did a good job blocking Rafael Montero out. To some extent, Rafael had pushed him in pretty deep. but that's that size advantage between Montero and Simpson.
Last time we were tied was 0-0. As we're deadlocked at 40, and that one misfired. And now Augusta with a chance to take only their second lead of the ball game. Tyree Myers inside with the left hand.
What a run by Augusta with 3:26 to go in the first half. Georgia College led 37-24. Now we have a completely different makeup.
Pull up. Rebounded by Crawford. He shrugs off Sloan, and now they come in the front court. Left side is an injured player down. Ankle. And they're going to call official timeout. That's Cade that's on the floor.
Wow, I can't believe they blew that play dead. Tyree Myers and Miguel Arnold were working on a little bit of a 2-on-1 situation on the wing there. We'll see it here. You know, usually you don't.
There it is.
Yeah, that's the injury, but usually you don't blow the whistle until there's not an advantage for the offensive team. You'll see right here Miguel Arnold come wide open, and that's where the whistle was blown.
Yeah, at first I thought it might have been a stoppage, thinking that Troy Cracknell was going to bring the ball back up to the top, and if he did, then this young man would have been in his dribbling lane potentially. But when the ball went in the corner, that was even more of a reason not to blow it. But safety first.
Sure.
Justin Cave.
Cave definitely a key piece to Georgia College's attack. Hate to see him go off in such an important game.
Justin Cave, overall, third best scorer on the team this year, averaging 12 points a game in league play. Jordan Thomas, head and shoulders the top scorer, averaging 19 points. Wesley Simpson coming in at 13. Chris Parks, solid productivity, averaging 10 a game, and in between those two is Cave, that 12-point-a-game average, 10 points overall.
The foul is on Augusta, Rafael Montero. Billing was 3, his second.
So Montero picked up the offensive foul. Jaguars with only their second lead of the ball game have to go on the defensive side to keep that lead. Kahneman. He's sandwiched.
The foul is on Augusta's Nyjon Crawford. His first, the team's second.
Tyree Myers.
In the game is Bobcat Chris Parks. Back in the game for your Augusta.
Tyree Myers is out of here, running to the locker room. He's holding his hand. I feel like he might have dislocated a finger or something. I hate to speculate, but the way he was holding that thing makes me think he's going to pop it back into place.
Kahneman with the field goal on the inbounds. We're deadlocked again at 42. Third tie in the ball game. Lucas White in for Tyree, and he'll get it back on the give and go. To the rack, he scores.
So Darren
issues right there.
Yeah, Darren Lucas Wright really learning how to solve that puzzle that is Georgia College playing 5 to 10 feet off of him. He's just getting a head start and attacking it with a full head of steam.
Great job by Dip Mitras getting the ball out of the hands of each player. Put it in someone else's hands, make the defense work even harder. Now shot clock down to 5. Pull-up jump shot. Side rim no good. Rebounded by Augusta, and here comes Miguel. Front court gets the high ball screen into the corner. Up top to Raphael. Now he'll spin. Jump hook. Strong. And rebounded on the weak side by Simpson. Wing pass. Jordan Thomas with the pull-up. That's strong. Rebounded by Miguel. He's got numbers. Going to throw it high over the top. Darren Lucas White with the reverse.
Darren Lucas White has had enough of the disrespect. He's going to the bucket every time. Kind of a risky pass by Miguel Arnold, but Darren's proven his ability to go get just about anything.
And there's a rejection, but after the whistle, Cracknell will pick up his third foul on that one.
Troy Cracknell with 3 fouls. We've the past 2 games we've seen him not make a field goal. He made 8 key free throws in the second half Saturday, but he's been unable to make a field goal, and I think a lot of it has to do with the effort that he's had to put out on the defensive end trying to guard Jordan Thomas. He's doing a great job, but both games he's gotten into foul trouble, and I think it's taken away from his offense to some extent.
There's a banker by Parks. So Parks, his first field goal of the second half, he's got 10 to lead the team in scoring. Thomas still with 8, Simpson with 5, 6 for Brandon Thomas, 5 for Cave, and 8 for Kahneman.
Oh,
Lucas White tried another acrobatic move to the hole, throwing caution to the wind with that ankle.
you know, when a guy plays off of you, it can be hard to go past him, or you can get a running start like Darren does there. Kind of revs his engine a little bit, and if he can start running at you full speed, even when you're playing way off of him, it can be very difficult to cut him off going to the basket.
Get a wider shot. Tyree is over his right shoulder with that right hand heavily bandaged.
So that must be a situation Tyree deals with on an ongoing basis. For him to sprint through the locker room like that and come back with a specific apparatus on his hand, I'm thinking that's something that he's dealt with, and he needs it from time to time when he takes a blow, and tonight's one of those nights.
Turn and face by Parks, no good, but there's a whistle and a foul.
I think this was great defense by Robert Barland. He moves his feet, stays in front of Parks, gets big on the contest, straight up and down. Well, maybe a little bit of a swing down from there, so I'll concede that was probably a good call. You know, the benefit of going at Crawford, for Parks going at Crawford throughout the evening. He's in a good rhythm offensively. Then he gets Barloon on him, and Barloon's a slighter of frame, not as long as Crawford, so he's feeling good about his offense, takes advantage of Barloon on the first play.
Chris Parks, the 68% free throw shooter, knocked down a pair to cut the deficit down to 1. Montero, his jump hook off the mark. Lucas White flying for it, as did Miguel, and they're going to call a traveling violation with Miguel and Lucas White on the floor battling for that loose one.
It's one of the few times in this matchup between Augusta and Georgia College that Raphael hasn't had the ability to muscle the defender in the low post. Matched up against Parks with Tyshawn Crawford on the bench. Parks is bigger, more stout even than Raphael Montero is, and so when he lowered his shoulder into Parks, he was unable to create any space and had to throw up a little bit of a wild shot.
Bobcat basketball, and Crawford returns to the lineup, and he'll run point again. Guarded by Miguel. Crawford, bounce pass into Parks. Working against Barloon. His shot attempt no good. Pulled out of there by Lucas White. Feeling contact against Thomas, no whistle. Tyree. Meyer surveys the defense, and we got an official timeout. As they say, there's still a little bit of extra moisture. Going to use some sneaker power to try to dry it up.
You know, with all the moisture outside, I was explaining to my son on the way over here, I'm not sure why that carries over into indoor courts, but it does tend to do that. We had a game earlier this season when it had been raining constantly outside, and there was it was a constant need to clean up wet spots. Now, as soon as I say that, I remember 3 guys just dove on the floor in that spot, so that's probably not the rain. At least I admit when I say dumb things, right?
Well, condensation certainly the case in Augusta.
Yes.
We sit here in a bowl as Darren Lucas White bowls in for 2.
And Anthony Torelli on the Augusta bench gives it a recreation of Darren's nifty Euro step there.
His 6 points in the second half gives him 10. Montero with 11, 10 for Tyshawn Crawford, 10 in the game for Tyree Meyer. So balance scoring for the Jaguars as a pull-up by Thomas, no good, and rebounded by Montero.
It was an excellent possession by Darren Lucas White on the defensive end guarding Jordan Thomas.
Up top, it's Montero for 3, front iron, no good. Crawford wants to push. Brandon Thomas will slow things up, and Crawford will reset.
These threes by Rafael Montero at the top of the key. This is the least comfortable I've seen him shooting from deep in this game here today. Everything's been short. Looks like he might be aiming it a little bit, and it's not working out for the senior.
Up top, wide open Parks. Rebounded inside, count the basket, and a foul.
The foul is on Augusta's Rafael Montero, his 3rd, team 5th. We have a media timeout.
There, it looked like Darren Lucas White and Rafael Montero just kind of guessed wrong on who they should block out. You see Darren kind of talking to Robert and Rafael after the play.
At home this weekend, baseball hosts Columbus State Friday and Saturday game times.
Heck of a game here. Postseason, March Madness has begun.
Saturday at 1 and 3 p.m. Some scores of interest from around the Peach Belt this evening. At the half, Columbus State 35, USC-Aiken 24. At the half, Pembroke 33, North Georgia 27. And nearing halftime, Lander 35, Flagler 30.
Our PA announcer, Jason Shear, just called out some Peach Belt scores. Number 1 seed UNC Pembroke in their quarterfinal game is leading North Georgia 33-27 at home. Columbus State playing on the road, the lone road team that is leading. They are beating USC Aiken 35-24. I think that game was at halftime as well. And also at halftime, Lander led Columbus State 35-30. Lander being the 3 seed playing at home. I said Lander leads Columbus State. Lander leads Flagler, the road team in that one, 35-30. So things are playing out about like we expected. Although this one is anybody's ball game in the 2 versus 7 matchup.
Want to welcome Millette Green and the women from Augusta tuned into our broadcast. Great season it was. Unfortunately, it came to an end versus North Georgia in the quarterfinals of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament tonight, 82-47. But what fantastic improvement we've seen in the women this year.
Very proud of the Lady Jaguars. Very proud of Miguel Arnold as well.
First 3-pointer for the Jaguars in this ball game. It took nearly 30 minutes of action to get it, but it was certainly welcomed as it extends the lead and gives us back the lead by 3. Brandon Thomas to the rack, and that's an offensive foul. It'll be number 4 on Troy Cracknell. So he was just off the bench, and again, similar to Saturday where he got in foul difficulty, it happens again.
Let's see if his feet are outside this circle. can't really tell from here, and I'm not sure which circle we're supposed to be looking at, whether it's the light blue one or the dark blue one. If his feet are planted outside of the but it looks like neither. He's outside of neither. Unfortunate for Augusta because that was the first possession playing with 4 guards along with the 7-footer Tyshawn Crawford. It's a lineup that Coach Dimitrius likes to. It's now an option that will be taken away for at least several minutes as Troy goes to the bench with 4 fouls.
In the game for Augusta, Rafael Montero.
But if you're going to sub somebody in, you can do a lot worse than subbing in my choice for the Peach Belt Conference Player of the Year, Rafael Montero.
Brandon Thomas at the line. .74% free throw shooter. Getting some Bronx cheers.
In the game for the Bobcats, number 34, Christian Koneman.
He knocks the second one down.
Just a moment ago, we saw Miguel Arnold, to your point, make his first 3-pointer of the ball game. If Arnold can get going from deep, that'll go a long way towards Augusta advancing to the second round of this tournament.
Lucas White with the pull-up. 8 points in the second half to lead the Jaguars in the second stanza, and 12 points overall.
Now Darren has to guard Jordan Thomas on the other end.
Spin dribble. A strong move by Chris Parks.
Parks has played a great game, real patient there, working against Tyree Myers, Augusta's point guard. Just kind of keeps Tyree on his hip, spins, and makes a nice little touch shot.
He's got 14. Loose ball. Who wants it? Simpson and Montero. Held ball, possession arrow in favor of the Jaguars, who lead it by 2 with 9:50 left to play in regulation.
We're going to clean up these wet spots here for a second. It'll be interesting to see what inbounds play Augusta runs here. They've been known to get Rafael Montero a quick touch on the post by just kind of him just establishing quick position and throwing it over his shoulder.
Yeah, there's multiple wet spots out there. This might take a little while.
Darren Lucas White is on a roll for Augusta. Made a jumper on, he's been getting to the bucket and scoring repeatedly. And then on that last play, he was confident in pulling up for the jump shot.
Close to a 5-second count. There's Lucas White, elevates, puts it up softly, no good. Kept alive by Tyshawn, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Augusta basketball.
It's a good look for Darren Lucas White, just barely didn't fall for him.
Myers the trigger. Nice look inside to Montero. So Montero with 7 in the second half. He's got 13 now. 12 for Lucas White. 13 for Montero. 10 for Myers and 10 for Crawford. Brandon Thomas knocks down another 3. That's his third. He's got 12. Lucas White takes the ball to the well, and I think he got hit around the chin or maybe even higher.
I want to say they ran that play specifically for Darren Lucas White. He's been playing so well, attacking the basket. Gets fouled by Simpson on the way. Four on Simpson's a big deal.
Yeah, we had a number of players fouled out in the game on Saturday. Went to overtime. Augusta pulling off the victory. 72% free throw shooter, Lucas White. His second opportunity. First time at the stripe here this evening. So give him 13. You give the Jaguars a 2-point edge at the 9-minute mark. Kahneman working against Montero. 2 dribbles and the jump hook short. Loose ball rebound by Brandon Thomas, and they call Tyree Myers from behind there with the personal.
Brandon Thomas has been a handful. I look at the stat sheet and I see only 8 points for Thomas, but man, they've been big points. Two for 3 from the 3-point line.
Brandon Thomas now with 8 in the second half. He's got 14 overall and 3 big made threes in this one. Myers, Miguel looking over, trying to get the basketball, but now Darren Lucas White has it to the basket, misses the layup. So the Bobcats with an opportunity to take the lead as we near the under 8 timeout. There's a floater, and Jordan Thomas couldn't find the bottom. Montero. Jordan Thomas committing the foul.
Remember, in the first half, Augusta had 2 fouls against 7 for Georgia College at one point. Dimitris mentioned it at halftime. Right now, that's only the 5th foul on Georgia College, where Augusta's logged 7 already. So not enough to get to the foul line for Augusta.
Up top to Montero, to Crawford. Myers, nice look down low, off Montero. And there's a whistle. And we got the under 8 timeout. Comes with 7:55 left to play in regulation. Deadlocked at 57, Chad.
Yeah, caught me by surprise. I was taking my my headset off because I'm a little nervous. You know, this is 2 games in a row that this Georgia College team has just absolutely given Augusta University fits. A tie game, the tension's high in here. This guy, Brandon Thomas, just makes shot after shot. He followed that 3-pointer up with a pair of free throws on an offensive rebound. Great job by Wesley Simpson finding Chris Parks, who's also played very well, working against Tyree Myers, Augusta's point guard, finishing a tough shot over both him and Tyshawn Crawford. Both of those opportunities were instigated by Wesley Simpson in the low post, Augusta having to double team him, and Simpson's out right now with 4 fouls, so that could work to Augusta's advantage. You know, I mentioned on the last baseline out of bounds, Augusta having a knack for finding Montero for a quick score. I talked about them throwing it over his shoulder, and they didn't do that, but they did on this play right here. Great job by our production crew here. Found Montero for a quick layup. We've seen it all season long. See if they get something similar here.
Miguel, nope. There's Crawford. They say foul on the floor. Austin Sloan, the culprit. He and Kahneman on the floor for the first time together, with Parks on the bench.
So both Augusta and Georgia College will shoot free throws on all fouls from now forward. Now, even though Augusta found Rafael Montero for that layup on that one of these past inbounds plays, it's been a chore getting the ball in bounds.
Myers will trigger. Crawford has it. He's got Sloan, but he finds Lucas White inside.
Darren Lucas White has turned into the main offensive threat in this second half for Augusta. A sophomore has been playing winning basketball for the Jaguars since the day he stepped on campus.
Brandon Thomas again.
Jordan Thomas, yeah.
Had my head down.
Yeah, the Thomases can be hard to keep track of. They're both making plays.
Miguel Arnold.
How often do you see a guy double pump from the free throw line? Great adjustment in midair.
Shades of Dick Barnett for you old timers. His jump shot was a double clutch. Kahneman. He got another one.
That's that pick and pop. Everybody can shoot that pick and pop for Georgia College. Tyshawn Crawford just got caught a little bit there.
Shot clock at 10. Myers with the pull-up. So a 1-point game. Nail-biting time as we near the 6-minute mark. Jordan Thomas. Kahneman. Pass Sloan on the wing, didn't see him. Shot clock down to 7. Pull up. It's good. Jordan Thomas's first made 3. And the lead is up to 4. And Tyree turns it over.
Demetrius claps in support. Augusta needs all the support it can get right now. In big need of a stop.
Sloan goes flying in, nearly with a tip. And Crawford with the huge rebound and guard the ball away.
Tyshawn Crawford almost got away with one here, or it may have gotten away with one here after getting hit. He responded with a little bit of a swing of his own.
Crawford misfired. Looking for his first point in the second half. 0 for 2 now at the line. That one goes over the top. It'll be Augusta basketball.
Great defensive possession by Augusta. Troy Cracknell playing with 4 fouls. Does the job against Jordan Thomas.
And another turnover for Tyree Myers.
So uncharacteristic of Myers to turn it over twice in this situation. Augusta's really going to need to lean on its defensive prowess here to keep getting stops until they can get some kind of rhythm going offensively.
Jordan Thomas. Kahneman, top of the circle, wide open again.
Christian Kahneman with his arms outstretched. Like, what do you expect from me? Well, after today, I expect those to go in.
So 7-point deficit for Augusta as we reach the under 4 timeout at the 3:56 mark in the quarterfinals of the Peach Belt Conference tournament here at Christenberry Fieldhouse. On SUV TV.
You'll see here, what's supposed to happen here is Montero, actually that's the three from Jordan Thomas. Just a tough, impressive shot by Thomas. If you see here, when Kahneman gets this ball, that's Crawford's job to get out there to him. So when Kahneman sets a screen, if Montero is guarding Kahneman, he'll have to help against Jordan Thomas. You see it here. Montero helps. That leaves Kahneman open. Crawford has to rotate to him there, but an excellent job by Austin Sloan setting that screen. Sometimes great execution on offense mixed with clutch shooting by Kahneman is just too much to overcome. Crawford was trying to get there. It's not like he missed his assignment. He just fell victim to superior execution on the offensive end by Georgia College. Clutch shooting by Tyshawn Crawford. He's had his troubles tonight and at times during the season from the free throw line.
Crawford now with 11. Along with 8 rebounds. Actually, I stand corrected. 11 points and 10 rebounds for Tyshawn. As there's Brandon with a pull-up. Brandon Thomas's 4th 3 of the ball game. Back the other way, quick shot.
Now Georgia College will just milk this clock for this last 3 minutes and 20 seconds, a 9-point lead.
18 for Brandon Thomas. $14 for Chris Parks, 13 for Jordan Thomas, and 14 for Kahneman. And a big miss there as Augusta has life with 9-point deficit. Cracknell, no good. Montero fighting for it on the floor again. Loose ball. Goes Cracknell in there as well. And the possession arrow on the held ball will go in favor of the Bobcats.
So Augusta comes back with Darren Lucas White. Tyshawn Crawford goes to the bench. 4 guards and the big Rafael Montero. This will help Augusta guard this perimeter attack. Hopefully get a stop or two.
The foul is on the Jaguars, Tyree Myers. His second, the team's 8th foul.
Tyree Myers picking up foul number 2, the team's 8th. Brandon Thomas back to the line. Five of 6 on the night for Brandon Thomas. Miguel, high arcer. Kahneman on the inline with it. Finds Crawford. Youngster with the bounce pass, a thing of beauty, and what a block that was by Montero. And they're going to count the basket.
No, it's going to be a foul against Georgia College.
Oh, wow. Watch this look here.
Rafael Montero refusing to give up. Right after that, he gives a couple claps like, come on, guys, this thing's not over.
So that was a big break on the part of Augusta. For Augusta, that is. Because that could have easily been a goaltending. Myers, of course, was fouled on the loose ball and he trying to break away.
Yeah, that block, if we were to see it again, we would see, in my opinion, I think he definitely got that ball before it crashed into the glass.
Yeah.
Tyree unable to make the second.
Yeah, my thought initially when I saw it live, Chad, was maybe he was on the ball on the downward path, not necessarily hit the glass with it, but if he was flushing it, if he's in the motion of throwing it down, the ball's in a downward plane. If you block it after that, that's a goaltend above the cylinder.
Yep, good point.
So Richard Crawford has not scored. Pressure on the freshman. He buries this one. For 2 from the field. First attempts at the line, and he coolly buries a pair to give his team a 12-point lead as we near the 2-minute mark. Myers to Montero. Montero leans in, scores the basket, and a foul.
Montero with the block a couple minutes ago. Implored his team not to give up. Leading by example here, drawing the foul, making the tough shot.
Rafael with a big make there. Now 3 of 5 from the free throw line. He's got 17 points and 10 rebounds. Augusta needs another defensive stop. There's the lob, and it's missed in close. And here come the Jaguars. 1:45 left, and a steal from behind by Jordan Thomas of Darren Lucas White. Lucas White reaches in and commits the foul.
The foul on the Jaguars, Darren Lucas White. At his fourth, Augusta's 10th foul.
Yeah, Darren must not have known that Jordan Thomas was coming from behind here. I think he never saw him.
And Troy on the right-hand side. Oh, and it rims out. So Augusta still has life. Plenty of time left in this one. We overcame a big deficit on Saturday to send the game into overtime before eventually pulling it out as Thomas makes the second.
Timeout, Georgia College.
So Jordan Thomas now with 14 points in the game. Chris Parks with 14. Brandon Thomas with 19. And 14 for Christian Kahneman. Elsewhere in the Peach Belt Conference tournament, Lander leads Flagler 47-36 with 15:44 left to go in the second half. Miguel Arnold flies into the front court, all the way to the basket. Right-handed layup, no good. Montero fights for it, can't make it work. Here comes Jordan Thomas into the front court. Tyree Myers, the last line of defense. He goes in to try to steal it. There's a whistle and a foul. 85 seconds remaining. Augusta down by 10. Both teams in the double bonus, so 2 free throws coming up for Jordan Thomas. And he misses another one. So now Augusta needs a 3-ball. Take it the conventional way if they could, as Montero with the right hand scores. No hoop and harm there, so Augusta calls a timeout.
Now it's just a game of trying to come up with a steal somehow. If you're not able to, you have to foul, and then you have to hope that Georgia College misses free throws and that you can score on the other end and rinse and repeat over and over and hope for somewhat of a miracle here with 77 seconds left, trailing by 9.
But one thing that's a little bit different than Saturday, in Saturday's game against the Bobcats, they tried to milk the clock. They got it across the timeline and just held on to the basketball. That turned into it backfired on them in essence. This time they're being more aggressive offensively in one of the changes that Mark Gaines has made from Saturday to today.
Yeah, got great play out of Brandon Thomas, Parks, and then Christian Kahneman towards the end of that second half just really made some huge shots for Georgia College.
Inbounds. There's a reach into the foul against Simpson. He'll be the next culprit going down the line. So the 4th foul on Rafael Montero, the senior, in his final game here at Christenberry Fieldhouse. Another miss.
Georgia College is somewhat leaving the door open for Augusta by missing 1 out of 2 free throws on 2 trips and now 3 in a row. Still a tough road.
Lucas White drives the lane. Right-handed layup is good. Lucas White with 18. Austin Deckard into the lineup. He'll be the inbounder. First time he's seen action here. He's going to call a timeout.
Darren Lucas White has played a very good game today. Really carried Augusta at times during the second half.
Yeah, we noted his ankle walking around a little ginger in the pregame, and certainly even in the warm-ups, but showing no signs of any ill effects in this one.
Yeah, I think that's just adrenaline working it on in his favor here. Here he's going to shoot this little pull-up jumper.
In live action on the inbound. Simpson has it. Montero can't foul him. That'll be his 5th. So Lucas White will come in and grab him from behind.
The foul is on the Jaguars, Darren Lucas White. That's his 5th and final foul.
Still a ton of time left. 4-possession game. Actually, 3-possession game. And now Sean Moss will check in as he replaces Darren Lucas White, who just fouled out of the contest. Simpson knocked down the first. Four or 5 from the line. And he makes that one.
1 minute.
8 points now for Simpson. Backdoor feed. Yes, and it counts. Cracknell from Montero. And that's Troy Cracknell's first field goal of the ball game.
His 5th and final foul.
Staying alert, staying involved. He puts the biscuit in the basket. A man who averages 14 points and 4 rebounds, 76% free throw shooter, and we need this one. And he knocks it down. So Troy Cracknell equal to the task, and the Jaguars now have to go on the defensive side. Thomas off the inbounds. They double team him. Sean Moss nearly snatching it away, but he deflects it out of bounds. Talk about Darren Lucas White all the time, his defensive prowess. Sean Moss with the quick feet.
Yeah, this is where it gets very difficult to inbound the basketball.
Nearly a steal by Cracknell, and then a reach in, and a foul is committed by Miguel.
Credit Austin Deckard for having the confidence to let that ball fly. Difficult to get it in because of all the denial. So the home run ball was there, but you got to have guts to throw that ball, and Deckard did there.
Yeah, don't know if Deckard played quarterback in his high school career, but he showed off a perfect delivery on that one. Jordan Thomas has lived at the line here in the second half, as have most of the Bobcats. This time they bury a pair. So the lead is back up to 9. 3-possession game as Tyree with the pull-up. And high in the air is Simpson for that board. So Sean Moss picking up the personal.
So if this 9-point lead holds and Georgia College gets out of here with a victory, you mentioned earlier what comes next. Obviously, Georgia College will move on to play most likely Lander at Lander on Saturday in the semifinals of the Peach Belt Tournament. Augusta will take a break, but their season will not be over. Augusta was ranked number 4 in the Southeast region out of 8 teams in the most recent poll, and the top 8 teams from each of the 8 regions make up the 64-team NCAA tournament field. And I would say mathematically Augusta will be in the NCAA tournament field 1 week from this Saturday.
Miguel, now Troy for 3, back-to-back 3 attempts, and then Raphael on the loose ball. There's a whistle and a foul.
That NCAA tournament game a week from Saturday that I mentioned Augusta University being pointed towards will be played at Lincoln Memorial in Tennessee, the number 1 team in the Southeast all season, number 2 team in the nation.
Montero with a rare free throw pair missed there. 10-point game, 23.9 seconds remaining. Another foul on the floor by Miguel.
See the Augusta players all huddle up. Rafael Montero kind of gave himself a punch in the leg for missing 2. It's a tight-knit bunch. They're going to nurse these wounds and get back to the drawing board, starting probably about 2 days from now in practice.
A 12-point game. Sean Moss strong on that one, followed up on the weak side. And Cracknell with another field goal. He's got 5. Crawford across the top, and he'll dribble out the clock. So the freshman from Greenbrier, who suffered a blow on the previous offensive possession, will dribble out the clock. And there's a shocker in the Peach Belt Conference tonight. Georgia College and State University, the Bobcats, under the direction of Mark Gaines, pick up their 14th win of the year as they improve their road record to 7-10 on the season with a amazing 85-75 win over the second seed in the Peach Belt Conference tournament and winners of 10 consecutive games coming in, the Jaguars, with 21 victories now. Record drops to 21-8. 12-3 is how their home schedule will end. And as Chad alluded to, with the 4th seed in the Southeast virtually assured of an opportunity to play in the postseason at Lincoln Memorial in Tennessee in a little bit over a week. Wow. Who saw this one coming? I certainly did not. As it looks like our own Chad Cook is preparing himself with a special guest, and he comes from a visiting uniform. Let's check in with Chad and see who he has.
Okay, I'm here with Christian Koneman for Georgia College. Christian, you made some huge shots. Last I checked, you were 5 of 6 from the field, 4 of 4 from the three-point line. Tell me about, your big game tonight.
Well, we needed a spark. Our shooter Justin Cave went down. They think he might have hurt his Achilles, but we needed someone to step up that can make shots, and they were playing off of me, so I had to hit him. I guess.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was that serious of an injury for Mr. Cave, so I'm sorry about that. Now, speaking of some trying times, I was informed that you didn't play Saturday against the Jaguars because of a car accident you got in with, I think, your teammate Wesley Simpson. It had to feel good. I'm sure that was very scary. I'm glad you're okay. It had to feel good to get out here, play a game. You made a 3 at the end there and kind of put both of your arms out like, very excited. Had to feel good to just play a game and not worry about some of life's troubles, right?
Yeah, God was for sure watching out for me and Wes that day, but I don't know. It's good to be back. I'm glad nothing major happened to both of us, but it felt good. I'm glad we were able to win too. But
yeah, well, we're really excited for you. Good luck Saturday against probably Lander at Lander. I hope you guys go all the way.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right, well, that was Christian Koneman, one of the stars for Georgia College tonight. Charles, I'll send it back to you. Maybe I'll come back and be on the microphone with you for a second for our last few minutes here for the 2020 season as far as you and I go.
Thank you, Chad. I appreciate that. Look forward to having you back in the broadcast position in just a few moments. The final score once again, Augusta falling 85-75 to Georgia College and State University, who will survive and advance and move on in the tournament. And we'll find out against the opponent to be named as there's still action going on. Lander currently leading Flagler 56-44 with 10.5 minutes remaining in the men's contest as we're watching that action live from Lander. Well, I'll tell you what, this thing was a shocker of major proportions. Georgia College shooting 24 of 53, and that is 45.3%. They shot 11, or I should say made 11 of 23 three-point shots. That's 47.8%, and 26 of 32 free throw attempts. I'll repeat that, 26 of 32 free throw attempts. They knocked home 81.3%. Comparatively speaking, Augusta shot 30 of 62, 48.4%, 1 of 12 from three-point land, 8.3%, and free throws 14 of 26, 53.8%. And those numbers speak volumes the way this one broke down, Chad.
Yes, they do. You mentioned 26 of 32 from the free throw line, and that was with several misses there at the end. So it's a testament to the shooting ability of this Georgia College team. We saw it from behind the arc. We saw it from the free throw line, from the field. I just want to say before we go that I really enjoyed this season. Really enjoyed that 10-game winning streak from Augusta. So many of them here at home. You and I got to call them. And obviously it's disappointing for the Jaguars. You saw them in the handshake line afterwards, just really disappointed to not be moving on in the Peach Belt tournament. But there is the NCAA tournament on the horizon. But more than anything, like I said, I really enjoyed our time here this season. And thanks for teaching me how to do this thing they call announcing.
Well, we've had a pleasure. We've had the pleasure of being, courtside in the best seats in the house for these games. And we've also, thinking in terms of the future for Jaguar fans that might be a little bit disappointed right now. On the Division I level and even Division II, we've seen teams take an early exit in their conference tournament, get refocused and re-energized, and make a run to the Final Four, which is kind of your second goal if you can't win the conference tournament.
No doubt about it. I mean, so many times a winning streak being snapped is what you need to refocus you. Last year the team won 15 straight games before finally losing. You can get to the point where you need an extra spark, some extra motivation. If this doesn't provide it for Augusta, bowing out in the first round of the NCAA of the Peach Belt tournament, I don't know what will. And this group doesn't need motivation. They come to play every game, and I think this will add that much more urgency to their preparation the rest of this week and all throughout next week before going to Lincoln Memorial 1 week from Saturday for NCAA tournament action.
All right, let's go ahead and give you some more numbers, this time from the individuals, starting off with the leading scorer in the ball game. Overall leading scorer was Brandon Thomas with 20 points and 7 rebounds. He shot 5 of 7 from the floor, 4 of 5 from three-point land, 6 of 7 from the line. Joining him in the hit parade was Jordan Thomas, 19 points in the game, along with 1 rebound, 4 assists, and 1 steal. He also had 1 block in the game for Jordan Thomas. Elsewhere, there was Chris Parks with 14 points and 4 rebounds. He got in a little foul difficulty, and also they decided to go small, so his action was minimal in the second half, playing 26 minutes and a half in the game. And then Christian Koneman, 14 points and 5 rebounds off the bench, and they were huge. 4 of 4 from three-point land. Again, 11 of 23 makes compared to 1 of 12 from three-point land. Kind of speaks to the volumes of what we saw, or speaks volumes to what we saw in this one. Augusta out-rebounded Georgia College 37-30. Offensively, they were paced by 19 points and 10 rebounds by Rafael Montero, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal, as well as a block shot from Darren Lucas White. 11 points each for Tyshawn Crawford, who had 10 boards. Tyree Myers with 11 and 5 boards. Miguel Arnold, 11 points and 6 boards here in this one. And 5 points for Troy Cracknell, all of those coming in the latter moments of this 85-75 setback, as the conference tournament run is over. The defending and reigning champions have been eliminated. Tonight, final score 85-75. Augusta loses to Georgia College and State University. And I'll echo what Chad said. Best wishes to Mark Gaines and his program as they move forward, as well as best wishes to Dip Mitras as he tries to get his team ready for action in a little bit over a week as they'll head to Lincoln Memorial for the NCAA tournament opening round play, try to get through the Southeast, and then survive and advance into what we hope will be a Final Four run and maybe a national championship. This team is well poised, despite the outcome here, to take it deep in the NCAA, and we wish them nothing but the best. It's been our pleasure bringing it to you on behalf of Lisa Burnett, her husband Marcus, and the entire staff, the cast and crew that has worked tirelessly here at Christenberry Fieldhouse throughout these home games as well as a road game as well. It has been our pleasure. And for all of them, and Chad Cook, I'm the Mac Daddy, Charles McNeil. I want to thank AUG B-Ball for being our sponsor throughout the year, and we hope to have many more on board for Season 2 for us in the 2021 season that's soon to come. But keep abreast of everything that's happening with AU on the schedule for the men. And again, continued best wishes for Millette Green and her recruiting as she prepares for the upcoming 2021 season in her 4th year as the head coach on the women's side. For all of them and all of you, good night and God bless everyone.